Welcome to the Data Cloud Spotlight. Today we've got with us Stephen Marles, and he's the European Business Development Director at Bouygues Energy and Services. Thank you for joining us, Steve.
Yeah, thanks for the invite, Bill.
So today we're going to be talking about sustainability in the data center and how everyone involved in the industry can make it happen. So firstly, generally speaking, what are the core challenges to reducing data center emissions?
Well, as everybody knows, we've been moving at such an incredible pace for the past few years, keeping our heads down and working furiously to keep up with demand. But now I think we're at this turning point where the mindset and expectation and challenges in the industry as we move forward to the next phase of data center growth have really hit us. We see new regulations on the horizon, and even ahead of us, some of these regions we work with are imposing a new level of requirement for new developments, waste heat transfer and stuff like that for the new facility. So the moving at pace and the speed, we've adopted standard processes for building, which works with our clients. But we now need to face the requirement to challenge decisions, set our roadmaps, to embrace new technologies and opportunities, and then work with our supply chains and clients to make sure our choices today are right for the future and what we can do to plan for the future data centers that we're going to live with for the next 15 years.
So you spoke about working with your supply chain, and that takes us on to a very important aspect of it, which is cross-industry collaboration, which the industry really needs to make net zero a reality. Is this happening in your opinion?
Yeah, it's interesting analogy to put in, but we're all a cog in a large machine at the moment. We all have to play our part, and as a business, we have to have a clear roadmap to drive all our businesses from the supply chain to the GCs to our main clients, and to contribute to the overall challenges that we're facing. And we're working on both sides. So we work with our supply chain, we work with our subcontractors, we work with our clients to ensure that we're going in the right direction. And for our part, we're at the forefront, we're at the beginning of the journey for the data center client. So we have to ensure that our activities during construction are realistic and they're sustainable, and setting our own objectives. So it can be everything from our staffing to our temporary power, to our activities, to our travel, to our sustainable purchasing options that we have to present, and championing green solutions for our clients so they can position themselves as a data center provider of choice. And then obviously once we walk away, there's a whole nother set of operation and maintenance activities that have to carry on for a number of years to ensure that they're ticking every green box that they can for a sustainable operation.
The third question would be, how are data centers meeting the triple challenge of keeping their operating cost under control, making sure they're sustainable, and making sure they've got secure energy supply? Is it possible to do these three things at once?
Well, it's a bit of a juggling act for all of us at the moment. As I said earlier, we're still building at speed, and we've had an exponential growth in the industry. And there's always been a balance of cost, because ultimately our end client has to make their business work for their onward sales. So we have to consider our decisions and actions that will leave the legacy of the data centers that we're doing now. And we have to have a toolkit of options to discuss with the clients. And then we can decide collectively how these decisions go towards sustainable options, for the planet as a whole, but also for bettering the delivery of the data center for our customers. So they go hand in hand with security of supply. So we can't jeopardize that element, which is critical to the operation of the data center, maintaining the uptime. So, the selection of these new interesting options for equipment and also for power resilience. We're engaged with our supply chain on how this technology will work with microgrids, with opportunities for on-site generation. We look into the future for alternative fuels. Now, some of our clients are looking at HVO as alternatives to for diesel. Obviously, everybody talks about hydrogen, but I think we're a few years off of that at the moment for distribution for sure. And some regions are having to look at security of supply now in order to build in those regions. So there's a lot to think about to add sustainability in without affecting everything else.
So could you give a case study on how Bouygues has helped a company improve their sustainability? So focusing on sustainability out of those three areas we just mentioned.
Yeah, so within Bouygues, we've had to set up our stall very early, try to be a leader instead of a follower, as everybody says. But we have our own internal carbon and environmental roadmaps, okay, to drive our business to net zero by 2030. And we need to commit to adopt some processes to improve ourselves and to meet those challenges, and in turn improve our client sustainability metrics. So we've been looking at running training sessions with a number of our suppliers to bring them on board, so they talk the same language to assist our end clients, for reporting as well for the carbon footprint. And through engaging through both sides of it, we can improve the decision making for our clients. And we've also involved our clients in everything we do on our sites. So at the moment, we've got a partnership in France with Loxam, where we've been looking at using hydrogen for temporary site power generation. It's something that we've introduced and we're looking to use with some clients to say this is an option. It's something that starts from the carbon reporting right at the very beginning of the land development all the way through. So it's just one of those things that we look at as changing our mindset as a main contractor. What can we do for our clients whilst we're there on site, whilst we're doing our construction, before they have the joy of running the facility?